getting confused. It's been that kind of a week, and it's time for GGGaming Gone Mad. We're going to be talking sports betting, and there is loads of sport to bet on this weekend. Plenty of rugby, plenty of football. I'm sure Gary will throw in a horse racing tip as well. Well, before I do introduce Gary to you, if you haven't watched our show before, go down below, hit the subscribe button, and make sure you don't miss any of them going forward. It's hello to Gary Lentin. Gary, good to see you.
Brent, how are you, my mate? Good to see you as well. Have you had your hair coloured? It looks a bit darker than usual.
You know what? I was so tired after the working day. I don't know what it is. Thursday is always the hardest day of the working week for me. So I jumped in the shower now, so it's wet still. I do shower.
Okay, fair enough. I got it. You know what I'm saying? No, I was quite impressed that it was getting darker as you got older, but okay, I understand exactly the situation.
That's it, yeah. Certainly quite a few grey hairs creeping in, I can tell you. And Gary, looks like a pretty busy sporting weekend, eh? Yeah, I see one or two in your beard there.
Yeah. It's an exceptionally busy sporting weekend, Brent. There's just so much rugby alone. It's just crazy how much rugby there is. I mean, there's probably a lot of games we're not going to touch on. Scotland games and, you know what I mean, quite a few games that we won't even have time to touch on. But there's a lot of great rugby this weekend. There's a great Ashes Test match that, although we lost day one yesterday, you know what I mean, they've made up a lot of, not time actually, but the games moved ahead very quickly, you know what I'm saying? And I think if the weather plays its part, there's still definitely going to be a result there. And yeah, then obviously the English Premier League still in full swing. So there's FedEx Cup golf. There's no shortage of sport this weekend.
No, certainly not. There's plenty to watch. And I guess let's just quickly touch on the cricket there, because I missed most of it today. But I see, as you say, I saw England had been bowled out. So I assume they'd been really skittled for a low score. But they managed to get to 258. And the last I saw, they'd got Warner. But I don't know what happened from there.
They finished the wicket down. I think 20-odd for one, whatever it is. But like I said, 10 wickets down. It's obviously a wicket that's doing something. You know what I'm saying? Warner out. If they get Smith early tomorrow, then I think that the cricket could. I'm sorry, I just saw Henrik's thing. Then I think that.
I thought I'd throw that up just to throw you off your stride a little bit there, Gary.
No. I mean, I'll be honest with you. On Saturday night, I was driving home and I started to get calls from a mate of mine, Moores, was playing in a poker tournament somewhere, you know. To say, she says, what happened? I said, I don't know, what's wrong, Moores? I thought he said it sounded like something was wrong. He said, how much money did you make today? I said, what are you talking about? So, because it's not like him to ask, you know. Then he said, no, it's all over the internet on all these different chats, how much money you made. I don't know what it was. And then it clicked that it was obviously the New Zealand price boost. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's it. I mean, I must say, I got a lot of WhatsApp messages, Twitter messages and that as well. Guys saying exactly that. They said, Gary must have cleaned up. Because, I mean, let's face it, Gary, I mean, you held your handicap much longer than everyone else there, aside from your price boost on the outright. And, I mean, all of the money really came for New Zealand, didn't it?
We didn't lay a cent of Australia. Some guy phoned, a guy lives in Australia, Scottish guy that lives in Australia. He phoned and said he wanted to back Australia. He just makes up numbers, this guy. Could he back South Africa? Australia at even money, he wants 25.5 point start. That was the only inquiry we even had into Australia. You know, so did we have a good game? It wouldn't be fair for me to lie and say that we didn't, right? We did have a good game. We won a lot of money on the handicap and we won much more on the outright. And obviously the yellow card worked in our favour. We'll never know what would have happened if the guy wasn't sent off. Did he deserve to get sent off? You know, they need to clear up this rule before the World Cup. You know what I'm saying, Brent? That needs to be sorted out. You know, like I said, we'll never know what would have happened if it hadn't happened, if it had happened. But, you know, you've got to give Australia credit. They were holding their own until then anyway. Let's put it that way, you know. They weren't the worst team on the field. That's the truth, right?
No, certainly. Look, at the time of the red card, I've got to say that Australia were full value for the lead. And like you say, we'll never know what would have happened. Perhaps New Zealand could have come back to edge it. But the way things were going at that point, there was certainly nothing you'd seen on the field to suggest that New Zealand were going to come back there. I mean, Australia played really well. And Gary, I guess from a World Cup point of view, that Australian performance almost came out of the blue, didn't it? Because, I mean, we hammered them a couple of weeks ago. And I see they've generally been trimmed into around the 12-1 mark now.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's enough talent there, what we saw last week, for them to not be complete dogs at 20-1. You know what I'm saying? And, yeah, I agree that Brodie's crucial. Brodie is the most crucial thing to the All Blacks' chance of winning that World Cup. I agree there with Emile 100%. No, Australia not, you know, just from what we've seen, you can't ever justify New Zealand being evens and Australia 20-1. You know what I'm saying? Even 15-10 and 12-1 seems like a big gap. What will happen if Australia win this weekend, Brent? Then what will happen to the betting for the World Cup? Let me ask you that.
It's going to be very interesting. I mean, I think, if they beat New Zealand in Eden Park, because they've got a terrible record there. I mean, I think New Zealand would have beaten this handicap in their last 4 or 5 there in Eden Park. But yeah, I think it's going to be turned on its head. And a lot of people also say now, I think a lot of people are writing off all of the Southern Hemisphere sides, bar New Zealand. And now they're looking at this as a resurgence of the Southern Hemisphere sides. But I still think, the North, they're only warming up. I think they're going to have plenty to say. I cannot pick a winner with any confidence for this World Cup, Gary.
Because, you can't even pick the winner of the groups anymore, Brent. So you can't even sit there and do your math. Normally you could sit there and say, right, A's going there, B's going there, and say, right, most likely that this team's going to play that team in the quarterfinals and that one in the semifinals and so on and so forth, right? You cannot even say that this time. I mean, there's so many groups that haven't been decided before they get there, whereas often they are, you know what I'm saying? And no. I mean, let's not write off England. The performance that they put forward, we're not always writing them off, but the performance their second squad put together last week against a good side was world class, you know what I'm saying? And, to me, I'm starting to side there. Maybe this is England's year, you know what I mean? They did get the cricket sorted out, you know what I'm saying? There's no soccer World Cup because that they couldn't win if they were the only team that arrived, But cricket and rugby, they got a chance, you know what I'm saying? And I think I'm starting to become a believer. They have a coach who has experience, and they have a side that believes in themselves. They have a captain that they all want to get around, and they've got big forwards and they mobile forwards as well for South Africa, and a good background. I'm the side to beat.
That's it. Sorry, I'm just messaging someone in my family to come fetch the dog. It started crying next to me here now, making a hell of a racket.
I thought you're standing on your door. No, I thought,
I can't put my dog on my lap. It's a little bit big for that one. Let me just send the message so they can come and fetch him. But Gary, what do you make of this? Sorry, Gary. No, I said, what do you make of this week's rugby then? Let's start off with the Bledisloe Cup. I mean, I see the handicaps are around 14.5. I haven't had a time to look at your site for the latest betting.
We 12.5. 8 to 10 the All Blacks, the minus. That's a good spread. Anything between sort of 12, 13, 14, I think is a good spread. You know what I mean? What I saw last week in the first half, I think that 2 tries is perhaps pushing it. You know what I mean? I keep thinking, the All Blacks, of course, they can come back and win by 25 points. But Australia, I don't think Australia going there under any sort of type of fear. You know what I'm saying, Brent? I think Australia going there, and they must think that they got a big chance after what we saw. You know what I'm saying? And they got to have a small outside chance. I mean, I think that, like I said, I'm not used to be the biggest New Zealand fan. I'm going to probably, at 14.5, I would take a plus.
Yeah, I've backed when I wrote the Good for the Game preview. I went for the plus at 14.5. And I just felt as well, I think that Australia, you could see they're targeting this game by the fact that they haven't really made dramatic changes. Hanson's perhaps trying to shake his squad up a bit. And everyone's saying, of course, New Zealand are, the World Cup is a big focus. And I 100% agree. We can't write these guys off. But there's no doubt in my mind that the preparations have not gone according to plan for New Zealand.
No, of course not. It's the first time they've been in this position for who knows how long, Brent. I genuinely think that they're desperate to win this rugby match, the All Blacks. You know what I'm saying? Because if they don't, everybody talks about the fear factor in that. You know what I mean? The fear, that's obviously gone. And that belief that they're going to just get out of it. Like, it was almost their God-given right leading up to a year or two ago that if they got into a tight game, things would go their favour and they could always bounce back. And even if they were 9 points down with 7 minutes to go, you couldn't write them off. Teams don't believe that they play them anymore. You know what I mean? A team gets ahead of the All Blacks. They're not sitting there waiting to defend their lead anymore. They believe they can go forward and extend their lead. If I tell you something, I would be more surprised for the All Blacks to win by 25 points than the Wallabies to win.
Right, yeah. So you have to say that there might be a bigger upside there on the plus handicap almost. If you were a spread better, you'd rather take, if there was 14, 17 supremacy, you'd rather sell at 14 than buy at 17.
Correct, exactly.
That's it. And what about the South Africa game then, Gary? I mean, of course, we've made loads of changes to our team for this one. Totally understandable. Of course, I know you're not really on Twitter, but there was big Twitter controversy with Siya Kolisi not captaining the side. Guys try to turn it into a racial thing, typical of South Africa. I mean, Rassie made it quite clear. The guy's our captain. He's coming back from injury. Let's give him a run. We throw old Skulk Brits in there. There's no way Skulk's going to be captain at the World Cup. So, I mean, but what does it do to the handicap? I mean, I see around about the 19, 20 points here.
Yeah, that's where it is. The money did come for Argentina when everybody saw the Springbok side, right? But if you go and analyse the Springbok side and analyse the type of game that it's going to be and their opponents, It's not a bad side for the occasion. Let's be perfectly honest. You know what I'm saying? And they're not a bunch of clowns. It's a decent side. A lot of those players are genuine Springboks, and you know what I mean. They're going to really take advantage of the guy like Jesse Creel. He must be licking his lips. He's got, you know what I mean, almost a license to go out there and play and show what he can do. And Elton Yankees can do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? And Rana, it's a chance for him to show that he's the second best or maybe the best scrum half in his mind in the country. Sorry, excuse me. So the only position I wasn't mad about, and I keep forgetting now who it was. Who's playing 8th man? One of the flanks are playing 8th man.
I haven't even looked properly at the side. I just saw.
I think they got Marcel Coetzee playing 8th man, you know. But I think it's a side that's going to throw it around. I think they'll still dominate in the pack. And I'll be honest with you, it's going to be a free scoring game. And don't be surprised if South Africa beat that spread, Brent. I think that they will.
Well, I know Henrik Swart, who's watching the show now and joins me on the rugby show after this, was certainly looking for a points line on this. He reckons, I think it's going to be quite a free-flowing game. I think it was him who said it. And I'd have to agree. I think both teams are really going to throw caution to the wind here.
Of course. You know, the great thing for the Argentinians, you know, it's their chance to express themselves because they don't really get that opportunity to do that all often. You know, when they play in a test match, they have to keep it tight, you know. But they have got more of a license to go out there and play rugby this time. And I'm sure a few of them are going to want to show that. I'll be honest, I don't think that the score is going to be... I mean, maybe we should make this people guess the total score and give our 500 Rand voucher there. And
yes.
I would say it's not going to be less than 60, is it, Brent?
Yeah, well, let's go with the winning. Let's go with the winning team, and then total points. So that, and if we got two guys who say the same total points, then give us the winning margin as well. So we're reversing the order from normal. We want to know who's going to win the game, total points, and then the winning margin. So this time, winning margin is a tiebreaker as opposed to that for a 500 Rand voucher. So let's go for that one, guys, and we'll see what the boys think there. But I think we're going to see quite a few points. Other rugby this weekend, Gary. Obviously, the Currie Cup. I mean, it does when there's international rugby on, perhaps doesn't get the same attention. But I look on Friday night, Western Province have lost a few players to the Springbok squad now that would otherwise have been playing. I don't think they can have it all their own way against Griquas.
No, I couldn't. You know, when I came in there today, I was in Joburg, so I hadn't seen any of the Currie Cup spreads. And Dave said, right, what do you think of these spreads that we got on the site, right? And by the way, you know, people should watch the England or Wales-England game. They'll get a few pointers there at the World Cup. But anyway, go back to the Currie Cup. So I said, sure. They don't make it easy for us. Dave, every week is more difficult than the week before. I said, but Griquas, Western Province, I'm going to say Griquas 9 to 10 the pairs. You know, you miles out, you know. And then he told me that 1.5 points problems, right? And then I said, okay, try to justify to me why we shouldn't be 6.5 or 5.5 and certainly be the lowest in the market because, you know, I'm not sure that Province should be favourites there.
I'm not sure either. And, I mean, Gary, the guys did ask me. I got 2 sets of WhatsApps about you last week. One, Gary must have made a fortune of money. And then when the Lions were losing or the Cheetahs were losing, one of the Currie Cup results, I said, don't forget to remind Gary about Tafelberg Park on Thursday night.
Let me tell you something. I haven't forgotten, right? I mean, I keep telling people that my worst nightmare is coming true here. I'm going to have to go watch a Currie Cup final in Kimberley, you know? And people say, why? You know, and I try to explain to them that I lost a bet because that's the easiest way of putting it. You know what I'm saying? But no, I totally remember that. I barely get any sleep because of that. But let's see what happens. I still stand by that. You know what I'm saying? I do.
Excellent. Well, the guys are going for high scoring there. Zach Block, Springboks 70 points in total in the box by 30.
It was his birthday yesterday. He's as stupid as he is at 19 as he was at 18. And I'm pulling his leg. He's a great guy, Zach. A wonderful bloke. And happy birthday to him yesterday, you know what I'm saying? But it could easily be the Springboks by 30, 70 points. So what's he looking at? About 45, 25. No, 50, 20.
Somewhere around there. 20. I mean, Len's gone for a real high-scoring one, Gary's gone 78 points in the box by 35.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, that's what he's gone. Yeah, he's just done it in the other order. So interesting that, but everyone going, I think you were spot on. Everyone seems to be going for a high-scoring game.
Yeah. There's no doubt about it. Despite the fact that they are expecting a deluge of rain in Pretoria on Saturday, you know what I mean? They say it's going to be the biggest rain ever in August history. No, there's obviously no. I thought it was Jesse Creel that went for the box by 10 and 58 points. There's a guy, you know what I mean, more sort of down to earth. Showing a king of spades. Interesting, huh? Do you play poker, Keelan?
Keelan, do you play poker? Let us know if you play poker in the chat. There's a little bit of a delay, so he'll come through now, Gary. Henrik Swart saying international game he's interested in the most is Italy v Russia. He won't have a cent on, but he wants to see what Russia's like. Now, Gary, I can tell you why. It's because Russia are playing Japan in the first game of the World Cup. And I know there's been lots of money for Japan on the early handicaps there.
Right. Okay, fair enough. I'd like to just say to Henrik, if he can remember one player when the World Cup starts that played this weekend in the Russian side and can spell their name, I'll be impressed,
Likewise, I could tell you. What other rugby that we got? Currie Cup, we've got Meter 10 Cup, but we also got lots of other sport on the weekend, Gary. English Premier League resuming?
Yeah, I mean, it's got off to a really good start. I was happy to see Arsenal got a win. I know it wasn't that spectacular, but I thought they were quite workmanlike. And you know what I mean, from away from home to keep a clean sheet. I think they only kept 2 clean sheets last season, the whole season away from home. And they still had Louise on the bench. I think, you know what I mean, that's forming nicely. I wasn't as impressed by Liverpool's 4-1 as some people were. I actually thought they were ordinary. I know they turned 4-0 up. Even then, I didn't think it was that brilliant. I thought Man City were in a class of their own. And I'll be honest with you, 4-10 Man City to win the league. I think if Man City put 2 teams in the league, honestly, I think they'd run first and second.
Yes, who was it that said it the other day? Maybe I can't recall if it was you, but someone said exactly that the other day. They looked at the City bench. I think it was someone on Twitter, and they actually said if they ran 2 teams, they'd probably be there in the top 2 as well. They really are going to be hard to beat.
No, impossible. You don't have the hype about the people they bought in the negotiations because when they want a player, they go and buy them, right? Whereas with Arsenal, buy a player, the Oaks valued at 80 million. Arsenal go there and put in an offer for 2 million and start from there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's embarrassing Arsenal. You know what I mean? I wonder they never got so hard. You know what I mean? Palace say they want 80 million. Arsenal offer 30 million. You know what I'm saying? But, City go there to get back to them. They want a player. They go, they identify the guy, they buy him. You don't read about it. And the next thing you turn on the TV set and the 2 guys, where did he come from? And they're better than the guys they had last season,
That's it. And Kevin Turner just pointing out in the live chat that it was Jose Mourinho on Sky Sports that said that as well. And I remember actually seeing that on Twitter tonight.
Okay, that's quite good. He knows what he's talking about.
And what did you think of United, by the way, Gary? I mean, they won 4-0. Was it 4-0 or 4-1 against Chelsea? I mean, I thought that game might be a draw. Was it Chelsea just really bad, or United? Is there light at the end of the tunnel?
No, there definitely is light at the end of the tunnel. Everybody's talking about Maguire, and he did make a big difference. You know what I'm saying? And he does tighten up the back, and they have to do that before they can go forward. Rashford, he's always been a passionate, good player, but I think this might be his come-out season, to justify what he's worth. Everybody, Pogba, I thought he was much better than he was most of last season. No, there's light at the end of the tunnel, but that light isn't contending for the title. That light might be competing for a Champions League place. You know what I'm saying? Yes. I mean, maybe if look an FA Cup or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? And the Champions League place. I mean, the one bet I do like, I think I saw 8-1 Arsenal to win that Europa League, whatever it is.
Right.
That's good value. That Arsenal side and that squad is perfectly set up, in my opinion, to win the Europa.
Right. And they'll do that because then if they win the Europa, do they book a spot in the Champions League next season as well?
I think that's how it works.
Something like that. And what about this weekend? Anything stand out for you, Gary, this weekend? Any price boosts from your guys' side?
Yeah, we've had a few price boosts. I've gone back on the same one I think I did last week, if I remember correctly, because I'm like a donkey. I hit my head on the wall twice and I still don't understand what's going on. I think a price boost I went for, was Mo Salah to be an anytime goal scorer again. We did that last week. It's so hard for me to see here. We did that last week, and he did score, and I did my money, and I'm giving the guys a chance to double up this week. And I think I went for Harry Kane to be an anytime goal scorer in the Spurs game. That's a big game. Spurs are going to Man City. And I think my price boost was Chelsea at home. Who did Chelsea play? I moved Chelsea from 6-10 to about 8-10, And you know what I mean? That's where we are. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm pleased Chris Sturdy put this little one up because I actually wanted to ask you about this. I see you've got a couple of new ambassadors on board there, Gary. And in the soccer, you've got Simply Carol, who actually appeared on with you, I think, a few times on the bet. Have you seen how many Twitter followers she's got?
It's incredible. We've got a couple 100,000, right?
Yeah, I think she's up to about. I first met her, I looked, and I think she was on 100 and something thousand. I think she's on something like 300 and something thousand Twitter follows. So I mean, that's not a bad ambassador to get for you guys.
No, I mean, I like Carol. We've been good friends for a long time. That's the truth. I met her at a poker tournament. She was there as a celebrity a few years ago. Down to earth, smart, really a nice lady. That's the truth. You know what I mean? We did a couple of little advert shoots together a few years ago. And then she was on the show with us when we did the show on Saturday mornings a few times, And she's just a good person. You know what I mean? He's enthusiastic and just, I don't want to steal your thunder, but she's good for the game. That is the truth, Brent.
No, she certainly is.
That's.
And you got Fani in the cricket, Fani de Villiers. He also appeared with us as well.
Yes, Fani used to be on the show a lot. I mean, he replaced I'm not going to mention the guy's name because anyway, but we had an Australian guy who played cricket for Australia, and he came on to stop coming on the show for whatever reason, and we brought on Fani. And I mean, the truth is, sometimes we forget what an institution Fani really is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we forget how good he is because your memory fades, and then new cricketers coming all the time. But Fani was really a top-class bowler. Maybe he lived in Alan Donald's shadow for a while, maybe. But Fani, by his own right, was a world-class performer. He won test matches for South Africa by single-handedly sometimes, literally, by going there and cleaning up the tail when they had no time to do it. Really a world-class performer, but not more than that. He's also a great character, isn't he, Brent?
Exactly.
I mean, the truth is, Finniger Fani, it says it all, right? I mean, nowhere in the world do you get names better than that, right? Finniger Fani, you know what I mean? Fast Fani.
No, you're quite right. I mean, he was an absolute character, and I actually got him into, he wasn't a big punter necessarily when we were doing that show, but after talking with him, I started getting these WhatsApps from him. How does this bet work? How does that bet work? And he really got into it, and he's absolute, I guess you'd call him like a larger than life. And Henrik Swat saying he loves the way how Fani chats, and he doesn't mince his words, and that's true. He calls a spade a spade. He's not worried about being politically correct.
Correct, exactly. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, no, they're two good ambassadors, two ambassadors that we certainly pretty proud of. I'll be honest with you, Brent. And they really both know their games and everything, and it's nice to have them. You know what I mean? That's the truth, though.
That's for sure. Well, Gary, we come towards the end of the show. I just want to ask you if you've looked at the horse racing card. I know a lot of guys do watch this show and they enjoy your horse racing input. Anything catch the eye this weekend in the races?
I haven't had a look yet this week. To be honest with you, and I mean, I know I'm going there. It's my sister's 50th birthday. That's the only reason I'm going, because people are going to say I'm on holiday all the time, but that's not true.
No way. You're not going overseas again, Gary.
I'm actually going to Switzerland tomorrow night. So the show next week.
Compliments of Australia, let me tell you.
We'll do the show from Zurich next week. I haven't really looked at the racing card yet.
I thought I was a big deal just moving from my study to my lounge for the show, but I mean, you go to Zurich, man.
No, but that's it. I promise you're not going to hear me traveling again for a while.
Okay, so is that it? But yeah, we'll keep an eye out for any good bets that come up in the racing. You can go onto the Good for the Game forum and watch there.
If I get something, I'll definitely send a message to you, Brent, and you can put it on Good for the Game. I just want to look at one thing to see if my tip in the golf has teed off, right?
Right.
And let me have a quick look here. Jim Furyk 6 under. Yeah, I mean, wait, this can't be. Furyk, Sabatini, Piercy, Scott. I'll tell you something. I'll back Scott. Scott's a big runner. So
right.
Justin, that's my tip. I know he's 4 under now, but Justin Thomas has been my tip the whole week. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's 4 under now. I don't know running. And then you see Tiger Woods 2 under, so it's not a very difficult course. And then I'll tell you one. He's only 1 under now through 6 holes, but somebody to run in the top 10 is Louis Oosthuizen.
Louis Oosthuizen, 1 under through 6. Make a note of that. Excellent. Hey, Gary, thanks very much. Been excellent chatting to you as well. We'll see who wins the 500 Rand voucher. And what can I say? Enjoy another overseas trip.
Thank you very much. And what we'll do next week, I'm going to have a lot. I'm going to give away 5 vouchers next week of 500 Rand each from Switzerland. People are going to have to guess quite a few of those little games, where I am, what I'm doing, and so on and so forth, right? So the first one, I'm going for my sister's 50th birthday. One of the questions definitely going to be about her and not how old she is. Guys,
excellent.
Great weekend. Always great, Brent, and we'll see you on Thursday night.
Excellent. Gary Lentin, thanks very much. Thanks to all the boys in the live chat. Good to have you on board, and one of you will be winning a 500 Rand voucher for next week. Guys, we've got about 5 minutes until the next show starts. Join Henrik Gerard and myself, and we'll have Couch Critic just monitoring some of the live chats and on standby, because if my sound goes again as it's gone for the last couple of 9 o'clock shows, well, I'll need someone to step in for me. Thanks very much, guys, and we'll see you on the other side of this.